Welcome back to my channel. Hello everyone, this is Zen from Tokyo. Today we are going to continue our Salesforce LWC tutorial. Today's topic is LWC data binding. But before we dive in, let's take a look at what our LWC for today looks like. Alright, before we start coding, let's do the explanation of what is data binding. So, data binding in LWC is the process of establishing a connection between the JavaScript properties of a component and the HTML elements in its template. So this connection enables automatic synchronization of data between the component's JavaScript controller and its template, allowing for dynamic updates and interaction within the user interface. So in this picture, we can consider the front end is HTML and back end is JavaScript. Okay, so the properties which in front end HTML will be controlled by the back end JavaScript. So the data will be synchronized between these two. Any changes happen in the JavaScript will be coming to be updated in the front end as well. Okay, let's explain this with an example. In our previous session, we had an LWC where some phrases like "Hello, this is Ethan," and the following sentence were fixed and unchangeable. Now, if we want these phrases on the screen to be dynamically changeable, we need to define a variable in HTML and then reference this variable in JavaScript to control its changes. Thereby, it will cause the changes HTML. So the first we need to consider is how to declare a variable. Alright, it's done by using braces to set a variable. Okay, so the first one is okay, but if a variable is set in the braces with space, it's not acceptable. It will show error here. So let's be careful. First, create a new component by clicking here, folder create Lightning Web Component, and we can call it data binding. And press enter to have this new LWC to be generated under the LWC folder. Okay, here. And we don't need this test, so we can just delete it. Okay, delete. We're going to first edit this HTML file. This time we will need a new tag called Lightning Card, which we can add a title in this one, which will directly display the title in the front end of the page. So we called the data binding example. Okay, and then we can close it. Okay, then we need to put division here. In division, we wanted to add two input boxes. One is for user's first name, and the second one is for user's last name. So the user can input their names in these two input boxes. Okay, so we need a new tag called Lightning Input, which is used to input texts. Okay. Input. And it is name. The boxes has input boxes is name called first name. Okay, it is used to store the first name. And we have a label to show in the front page as well. So we can say please input your first name. Okay, then we should need a value to store the words that users input in here, right? So we use this brace to install this value. It can be the value is called first name. Okay, and also we need an onChange method to track that any action the user is doing, I mean the action he's doing, it means he type into this input boxes. This action is like something like an event that need to be tracked by this method. Okay, so we can call this method handle change, also brace. Okay, handle change. Okay, and we can close this one. Okay, so we need another one as the last name, right? So maybe we can just simply copy this one, but it's too small. Maybe you can just copy this one, and for the last name, right? So we can just change it. Last name. And onChange method can be shared both. They can use the same onChange method. Okay. And this one last name, right? They can call last name. This one also last name. Okay, so the users type their names in this first name and the last name. It is the place to input. So we need a place to output their names. Okay, so we need another division here. We can just use a paragraph, maybe P here, right? This user's full name is, right? And we use another variable to store user's full name. We can just call it full name, right? So I think the XML file is down, but we want to show what is showed on the front page. So we need to add this metadata configuration file as well. So better just go back to the previous one we have created and copy this one here, because they show on the same place, right? Copy paste here. Okay. So the XML is down. We needed to editor this JavaScript. Okay. As we already know that there are a lot of values and method. The values like first name, last name, and the full name, and the method is called handle change, right? They have been declared on XML, but we need to catch the values as well in the JavaScript, so that the data can be binded here. So the first name is here, and we had to declare it here, and it is also a string, right? It's a string, right? And the last name is also a string, right? So another full name, right? These three variables has to be cleared here as well for the JavaScript to catch. Okay, and also the function, right? The function is called handle change, right? Remember that in JavaScript, it's sensitive, it's case sensitive. So the lowercase and uppercase is different. Okay, You have to be very careful. Okay, let's check here. The two input boxes share the same method name here, but how the method is gonna know which input boxes the user is typing to? Is it first name or last name? How does it know? So we have to, let it understand that which input boxes the user is typing to. So we need to catch this value, name, because the name is different, right? The first name, the last name is different, right? So we can catch the name of these input boxes. So we just better declare another value called name. Okay. Name is event target name, right? Event, like whenever the user is whenever a user is typing into the input boxes, the event happens. Okay, so if the user type into this first name here, the target will be this one, the first name, right? So target is the first name. So the target has a name called first name. So we can only check this first name here. So simply like this, event target name. Okay, so the name can be getting here. We can just add a if name equals to first name, right? So it means that the user typing into the first name, right? Typing into the first name in input boxes, right? So this first name, okay, you have to add this, otherwise the error will happen. Equals to event target value. Okay, this time is value. Okay, value means the name type into this input box. Maybe John, or maybe Kevin, something like that. Okay, anything he type into here will be shown there. The data will be given to this. Will be given to this first name. Okay. Else if, so we can use copy. Right? If there's a user typing into the names in the last name, so the last name will be this one, right? Okay, so the first name and last name will be gotten, the value will be obtained by this event and by this method. Okay, so what about the full name? Okay, this full name equals to the combination of this first name and last name, right? So it should be this first name plus, and we need some space between them, right? So add some space here. Right? So so we're done. Whenever the change is triggered, sorry, handle change. Okay, sorry. Whenever the event is triggered by a customer typing into the input boxes, it first check what the column, which input boxes is being typed into. So the value can be get by event target value here and be given to this first name or given to the last name. And the first name and the last name combined becomes the full name. So let's try and deploy the sources to the environment, see does it work. Okay. Before I deployed, I noticed some mistake that I made, which will result in the failure of display. So okay, the name is misspelling. Okay, it's name and me, right? So we just change it back, make it right. Okay, if this is not right spelled in the front end, it will never display the right value that the user type into. Okay, we just deploy again. Okay, and we go back. So okay, we have logging the Salesforce environment, and this is the one LWC which is created in the previous episode, and we click this on gear icon as well, and choose this edit page. And the bottom of this page of this list, we find this data binding component which is created, which is hold and drag in here. Yes, it shows here. And save. Back. Okay, we just type in 2 and see what it looks like. Yes. And the space between these two, right? So maybe we can say Kevin, right? So maybe Ethan, like that, right? Only I noticed that the input boxes here is too much close to the edge of this LWC. I want to add some space between these two as well as this one as well. So I will, add some values to this page. And yeah, already opened this page here. We wanted to add some parameters in the division here. Let me see. Yeah, around means that add a space space around this LWC component here. So we might as well need a small one, class around small. Okay, so I'll add here. Maybe here as well. Okay. Okay, so let's save again and deploy. So we go back again, check what this looks like. Okay. Yeah, space is being added around the component, right? And this one also has some space. And we type in like okay, so we believe that we have made the right component we are supposed to make today. And this concludes today's tutorial for the data binding of the LWC. I'm so happy you guys can watch to the end of this video. Maybe it is a little long for you to watch, and thank you for your patience, and see you next time.